Look, guys, there's a lot that goes into creating listings, but did you know that one of the most important aspects of your listings is actually those photo cards that you're uploading and publishing into each listing? I would argue that your SEO is actually not as important as maybe you've seen throughout YouTube and other content related to Etsy. Now, it is important, I want to say, it is, but your photo cards are what is going to sell your product. And there are some mistakes I see a lot of sellers do when they're creating listings. I've reviewed hundreds of shops at this stage in being a coach on YouTube and working with so many of you who have emailed me and told me that you've hit 5 figures and 6 figures in your own businesses, which is just like so cool. But I also want you to focus on your photo cards because the eye is the window to the soul. And going forward, when you're creating listings, imagine your listing without any SEO in it. There's no title, there's no tags, there's no description, and your photo cards are the only answer to a lot of customers' questions. Does that look like maybe the SEO that you wrote? And again, if we're imagining without the SEO, can you tell what that product is? That's something that's really important. And that's something that I realized I do as a customer is when I'm purchasing on most websites, I'm not reading the text. If you have a product picture that doesn't look like the product that a customer typed in the search, you're not going to get sales, right? You're not going to get visibility. The main question that a lot of you have is, okay, Heather, what photo cards do I need then? What's important? Before we go any further though, don't forget to subscribe, like this video to be shown more content just like this. And outside of that, let's get straight into it, guys. So let's talk about your first few photo cards. So your first photo card is usually going to be that main thumbnail image. This is the first photo card that you want to be your highest quality and clearly depicted photo of your actual product. Now, here's where I would recommend for those of you who might not know what color, what variation maybe of a design is the best, is to perform an A and B split test. You do not change anything else. The only thing that you're going to change is that main mock-up thumbnail image. Let's say that you have a white t-shirt and maybe a different color. You, as the seller, may have a preference towards the red color. However, most customers may have a preference towards the white. And that difference could be the difference between you getting visibility on Etsy and eventually conversions versus not getting any sales. So that's why performing an A and B split test is so important at this stage. If you don't know what might be the best color, or maybe you don't know what design is going to sell the best. I know explaining all this, some people go to, okay, I'm gonna do 5 to 10 different listings and copy a listing 5 to 10 times, right? And this is where I would say that there is an area where it becomes too much. What I would recommend is doing about up to 3 variations. The reason why I don't recommend doing this multiple times over 3 times is just because you may burn through your budget in your shop very quickly by doing this so many times. And then on top of that, sometimes it might just be the design style that just isn't selling for your shop. There's other factors involved, and I don't want those of you to burn through your budget, so to speak. 3 is my kind of like golden rule. Also, if anyone is an OG on this channel, you know what this sign means. Let's say you offer 10 different colors, maybe of a Bell on Canvas 3001 t-shirt. I want you to only have 3 to 5 of those colors being shown, and maybe those are your most popular colors. One of the reasons why I recommend 3 to 5 colors only is because there is the concept of buyer fatigue and decision overwhelm, right? What happens is if your customer goes to your shop and they see maybe 10 to 20 different colors that they can select from, maybe that customer finds that they like 5 of those colors, right? And they decide, hey, you know, maybe I should just go for a different product because I can't figure out what product I like, or I'm just gonna X out of shopping because I wanna buy all of the colors and I can only get one, right? Has anyone else done that? Just let us know in the comment section, because this is actually a thing. It's very common. And personally, I did this recently. I was looking at some jackets and there were so many colors I liked, and I decided to not buy anything.
Nope.
It does happen, and that's why I recommend only 3 to 5 colors. What you can add is a color chart. So let's say you want to offer other colors. You could just say, hey, message us if you'd like to have this product in a different color. So the second thing is you want a high quality image. Whether you take that yourself or you buy a mock-up, you want it to be a real life image and very accurate to the actual product and how it's going to print. On top of that, if you have a print on demand business, you want to make sure that your designs are overlaid with a slight lowering of opacity. So this is a common mistake I see with a lot of sellers, is they will overlay their designs, but the opacity will be at 100% on that design overlaid on the mockup, which is not at all how that's going to print. So you want to make sure that you're lowering that opacity. Typically, I've lowered my opacity as low as, I would say, like 75% on a really brightly lit real life photo mockup. Two, I've went as high as 95% because, again, that was a dark photo mockup. You can also order samples and take your own photos. And honestly, your phone can be one of the best photo tools. And what am I saying? Photo tools. I feel like camera, Heather. That's camera. So your phone could be your best camera, and you don't need to get an expensive camera. You can take such high definition photos on your phone. What not to do. So I would not put in mock-up images that just have a white background or look AI created. This is a huge problem that I am seeing for a lot of sellers recently. A lot of the sellers who have came to me and asked, hey, Heather, I'm doing everything you're saying and I'm not getting any sales, right? The first thing that I look at is always the photo cards. And that's why this video is so important to me and to those of you watching, because I want you to do this the right way. And one of the biggest issues I'm seeing is people are AI creating their mock-ups and the photo cards that are in the mock-ups. And to be quite honest, some sellers don't even know that these are AI generated mock-up images. And what I would recommend is to, first of all, look at the description of every mock-up that you're purchasing. I know that's really upsetting and frustrating for a lot of us, but that's something that we do have to do. And another thing is just finding the real shops and the real life photo shops. Also, if there's any real life mock-up shops as well, please comment below and share your shop too in our comment section, because I want to promote those of you. Here is the thing that has been an increasing concern of customers in the past year on Etsy, which is that customers don't trust online sellers to the extent that they used to a few years ago because of AI. They want to buy from a human behind the screen, but just be careful of the AI ones. And if you have any questions, there's so many free communities. I have one called Print on Demand Friends group on Facebook that you can join. And if you have a mock-up shopping question, you could post it in that group and just ask, hey, does anyone know if this is real life or AI created? So the second type of photo card that you should absolutely have on your photo cards is the product information photo card. Now, this can be one photo card or it can be multiple ones dependent on the product that you are selling. So an example of these is a size chart. Maybe you are offering multiple sizes of a mattress or pillows or mugs. You want to make sure you have a photo card just showing the difference in sizes, maybe with a real life photo, or you at least have maybe dimensions in a photo card as well. The second photo card that you would want to have is some type of maybe color chart or design variation chart. So if you're offering multiple designs, I would have some type of chart like that. The third for Photocard that you can add here is how to personalize. So let's say you offer personalization. This is an opportunity to add that type of photocard. The other photocard is washing instructions. So if you're selling apparel, you can add in washing instructions, what you recommend, and maybe the material. You can also have a material information chart as well. Or maybe if you're selling candles or something like that, and of course, people can't smell the candles in person, you could always describe the candle scents in a chart as well. So the next photo card to add to your Etsy shop is a social proof photo card for the reason of increasing our buyer trust. And by doing that, we can increase our conversion rates. Also, if let's say you have a new listing that doesn't have reviews yet, you can always pull a review from a past listing and add that in. But as you get reviews on your listing, you can always add in that review in the photo card as well. If you are going to add a review photo, you do have to ask that customer. Just so you know, that is a part of the Etsy terms and conditions. One type of social proof that more established shops have done is they have put in also seen in blank. So let's say that you had a product featured on a website or a blog or some type of article. So maybe as seen on handmade.com. Another photo card that you can add on is, let's say you had a UGC, user generated content that you paid for. You can actually add that on your photo cards and listing. The last photo card that I recommend a lot of you adding to your shops is some type of lead magnet. What is a lead magnet? A lead magnet is a offer that you can add on a photo card in a link in your description that just states, hey, sign up for our email list and get this amount off. So an example I would do for my shop is I would offer maybe 20% off for people who sign up for my email list. One of the best email marketing tools that significantly makes your life so much easier with having an Etsy business is Everbee. If you haven't already heard about the Everbee email, this connects to your shop and just streamlines the process of even adding a email lead magnet photo card to all of your listings if you don't already have that. So if you have an extra photo card space, you can add this quite easily through that tool. With Everbee, with people who sign up for your email list, you can add in automations and sequences that you can send weekly, maybe new products that you added to your shop. You could send a weekly newsletter and you don't even need to create the email, guys. And this is a crazy statistic, guys. For every $1 spent on email marketing, there is a return on investment of $42. It does help your business a whole lot long term. Now, if you have a social media account, let's say not an email list, but you at least have social media, you can add a call to action photo card that I highly recommend for those of you, because again, you can invite people to follow you on social media, and social media is a huge way to bring in consistent traffic and consistent sales. Another way that you can add in a lead magnet without a QR code is just stating, look at the description at the very bottom. You can copy and paste the link to get 20% off your first purchase. When you have repeat buyers, that's a huge plus on your Etsy shop and can organically boost you so much. So I highly recommend doing that, at least to bring customers back into your shop. If you haven't already started a Etsy and print on demand business, I have a full free course down below called the Print on Demand Crash Course. Again, it's completely free and I answer so many things in that free crash course down below. Besides that, I am wishing you all the best end of your holiday season and a happy holidays to all of you watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like the video on the way out, and I'll see you all in the next video here.